Of Bonita Jacks. Born in 1974, Bonita grew up in Charles County, Maryland, raised by her mother, Mamie Jacks. Now, during her childhood, she struggled academically, so much so that Bonita said that she had dropped out in the 6th grade due to learning disabilities, but her school record showed that she stayed enrolled till she was a sophomore. In 1991, at the age of 17, Bonita became pregnant by a man named Arthur Penn. Due to this pregnancy, she officially dropped out of school and started working retail and service jobs up until 96 when she gave birth to her second daughter, Tatiana Jacks. Bonita remained a single mother until the year 2000. Around this time, she was working as a hairstylist in Washington, D.C. when she met Nathaniel Fogel. He would come in and get his hair braided, and the two instantly hit it off and started dating. Nathaniel knocked up Bonita almost immediately, with their first child, Kaya, being born in 2001, and their second child, Asia, quickly following behind, being born in 2002. Now, by late 2005, financial hardship had hit the family so hard that they got evicted from their apartment. With nowhere else to go, Bonita had to move back in with her mother, and her mother welcomed her home up to her and her 4 girls. But Nathaniel could not live there, and she made that very clear, and Bonita didn't like it, but she didn't have nowhere else to go. One day while Mamie, her mother, was away, Bonita decided to sneak in Nathaniel, thinking that she would be gone for a long period of time. But Mamie came home. She came home and found Nathaniel in Bonita's room, and she's pissed. She threw his ass right out. Now, this pissed Bonita off, and it caused tension between the two. Since Mamie wasn't letting Nathaniel come over or stay, Bonita just said, fuck it. I'm gonna pack up me and all my children, and we're just gonna go be with him. Now, her mother wanted the kids to stay, but Bonita said, no, I want us all to be together. So from December of 05 to about April of 06, the family is homeless. They're living out of their van. They're going from shelter to shelter. And if that wasn't bad enough, around this same time, Nathaniel gets diagnosed with an aggressive form of leukemia. Now, this took an even bigger toll on the family. Nathaniel started his cancer treatments, but a lot of times he would leave mid-treatment against doctors' orders. And the doctors is like, what's going on with this family? They decided to contact Child and Family Services. This was considered a red flag. They found out that both Bonita and Nathaniel was abusing drugs and that the family was living in a van. Now, Child and Family Services dropped the case because they didn't have a physical address for the two. But in August of that same year, the family finally gets some good news. With the help of a housing nonprofit, Bonita and Nathaniel was blessed with a home. They can finally get up out that van. Even though Nathaniel's health was still declining, the two were just happy that they had somewhere to permanently lay their heads. But Nathaniel's time in the house was short-lived because in early February of 2007, his cancer had turned terminal and he had to go to hospice. He died on February 19th. Now, this was the turning point of Bonita's mental state. She was so overwhelmed with grief and untreated psychosis that she refused to even go to his funeral. She was even telling her youngest 2 daughters that their father was still alive. A couple weeks after Nathaniel's death, Bonita cut off all ties to the outside world. She boarded the windows up to their home. She pulled her 16-year-old out of school and refused to let the girls go anywhere. But Brittany had a boyfriend at school who was becoming worried because he has not seen her. So he decided to go to the house. Now, Bonita opened the door for him and let Brittany talk to him very briefly while she stood directly behind her. She let the two hug and she kind of shooed him off. That was the last time he seen her. After about a month passed and Brittany still hasn't returned to school, the social worker decided to do a home visit. Bonita answered the door but refused to let the social worker come in. But from where she was standing, she could see the 2 youngest girls on the couch and they looked unkept to her. Bonita told the social worker that she didn't want Brittany to come to school because she feared that Brittany was going to run away. This is when the social worker contacted Child and Family Services to file a report. She told them that she thinks these girls are being held hostage. And what did Family Services do? Mistakenly closed the case, saying that the family moved across state lines back to Maryland. This was an unverified assumption. She even called a police sergeant's cell phone, asking him to go do a welfare check on the girls. And when he went out there, he said that the girls looked clean and well fed, and he did not file a report. Around Mother's Day, Bonita's neighbors witnessed her and two of her children removing all the furniture from their house, putting some on the curb and some in the backyard. She told her neighbors that the furniture was up for grabs and that it was infested with ants. And by June, the children had completely disappeared. When the neighbors would ask Bonita about the children, she would say that they were upstairs or in South Carolina with family. But as time went by, the children never returned. And as time went by, there was an odor coming from the row house. Now, there was a pest issue that the residents were having, so they were thinking that it was a rat died inside of the wall or something like that. Crime was the last thing on their minds. By September, all of the power was cut off in Bonita's house due to non-payment. When she went to ask her neighbor for some water and a cigarette, her neighbor noticed that Bonita was significantly smaller. Bonita told the neighbor that she had cancer. On January 9th, 2008, armed with an eviction notice, U.S. Marshals pulled up to Bonita's house. She opened the door wearing a filthy t-shirt and looking completely crazy. When she seen that she was getting evicted, she tried to shut the door on the marshal, and he wedged his boot between the door, forcing the door open. Now, when he forced the door open, he smelt the foul odor. Making their way upstairs, they can't believe their eyes, because in one room, they found the three youngest girls laying side by side, ranging from youngest to oldest. All three girls were wearing a white t-shirt, and they were all mummified. In a separate room was 16-year-old, now 17-year-old Brittany, who was completely nude, laying on a white t-shirt with a knife laying next to her, and she was a skeleton. Bonita was immediately arrested, and during interrogation, she told the detectives that her children were possessed by demons and that she starved them to weaken the demon. She said her children died one by one, peacefully in their sleep, and she left them there because she thought that they would be resurrected. She said that she got rid of all of her furniture because she thought that it was possessed as well, even though she told the neighbors that her furniture was infested with ants. She said she kept her oldest daughter away from her three youngest daughter because Brittany had a Jezebel spirit on her, and that she didn't want it to rub off on the little ones. The police are thinking this is why Brittany probably died first. And you can tell that she put up a fight when she died, which is probably why she used the knife. But the knife didn't hit any arteries, so they don't know if Brittany died from starvation or the knife wounds, because her body was so badly decomposed. Her estimated time of death is between May and June of 2007, and the younger three girls roughly between June and August of 2007. The younger three were strangled, but Bonita pled not guilty, claiming her innocence. She said that she still never harmed any of her children. Her defense team wanted her to plead insanity, but Bonita refused, saying that she was completely sane. Her trial started in July of 2009, and her mother testified not seeing Bonita in years. Her mother hasn't seen her or the grandchildren since she left that day to be with Nathaniel. Mamie is shocked by all this because she said Bonita was never harmful to her children, but Bonita's friend took the stand as well, and she said that Bonita and Nathaniel will allow the girls to smoke marijuana just for shits and giggles. The police officer that did the welfare check also took the stand, saying that he didn't file the report because it wasn't mandatory. Mind y'all, he didn't file the report until the day that the bodies were found. And then he changed his story a couple days later. Initially, he said he seen the three girls and they was well kept, well fed, blase scoop. Couple days later, he changed it and said, well, I thought I seen Brittany as well. He thought. Bonita was found guilty of 4 counts of felony murder, 3 counts of first-degree premeditated murder, and 4 counts of child cruelty. She was acquitted of premeditated first-degree murder of Brittany because there was no evidence on the knife. She was sentenced to 120 years in a highly specialized psychiatric federal prison facility, as she should, because let's think about this. She was in this house, no utilities, with 4 corpses that are her daughters for 7 months. Do you know how off you gotta be to sit in the dark every day for months with your deceased daughters? And y'all saying all this because she lost her man? I'm speechless, Yellow Tape. I'm speechless with this one. Shout out to that social worker, because if it wasn't for her, no telling how long this would have went on. Rest in peace to all 4 girls. Bonita Jax. I don't even know. What y'all think? This is the story of Bonita Jax.